Hello everyone. Welcome to Oracle for Kids. My name is Marina Moon, and today I wanted to make a video about my experiences with Oracle cards and children. My experiences mainly revolve around my 9-year-old daughter, and some of them have been really positive, and I wanted to share what cards I used with her, as well as the positive experiences I had. So I hope you enjoy this. A couple of quick things before I get started. In the description box below, you will find 2 links. The first is a link to my personal website where you can buy a reading from me if you'd like. And the second one is a link to my Instagram account where you can follow me on social media if you'd like, and I'd love for you to join me there. Okay, so on to Oracle for Children. So the reason I bought my child, my daughter, her first Oracle deck about 5 years ago now, when she was around 5 years old, I'd say 4 to 5 years old, is that she was pretty enchanted with my own tarot card collection. So I've been reading now tarot seriously for about 5 years, and I love to collect cards, and I have, quite a large collection that you can see in the background, and I'm very particular about how I treat my tarot cards, how I want them, touched and handled. But I also wanted to pass on my love for tarot, my love for Oracle to my daughter, and so I would share my cards. As I was starting to collect different tarot decks, she would express an interest, and I would show her cards, and sometimes she'd walk away from them. Sometimes, she'd have them on the floor. And while that was okay, even though a part of me was kind of twitching, while that was okay, I really wanted her to have her own decks so she can just feel free to play with them as she wanted to. So the very first deck that I bought for her, she was about 5 years old at the time, was the Children's Spirit Animal Cards by Stephen Farmer. And before I get into what the cards look like, I did want to share a mistake I would say that I made early on with her. When she got these cards, she would love to place them on the floor, and she'd walk around them. Sometimes she'd step on them. And again, I'm pretty particular about my cards, and I wasn't real comfortable with her treating her cards that way. And I remember, there's a little bit of an edge to my voice when I said, you really shouldn't, play with your cards like that. And I could tell she got kind of sheepish, and she played with them a little bit more, but then she walked away. And I thought, I can't expect a 5-year-old to be she wasn't disrespectful, but treat her cards the way an adult would treat their cards. She needs to play. She needs to have them on the floor. We do have rules about picking stuff when you're done playing, but other than that, I felt like she should be free to do what she wanted to do with her cards. And if sometimes that meant stepping on them as she was trying to get her Crayolas, that kind of thing, I thought I need to just back off and let her play, because I'm going to kill the play and the imagination if I get too involved about how she should neatly stack them and put them away and all that stuff. So if you are like me in that way, I would encourage you to think about how you want how you want to talk to your child about putting their things away, how you want to encourage them to play in their own way, because I don't always think, and this is just my opinion, that grown-up rules necessarily work for kids, because, like I said, it kills the play. So just a thought there for you. I'm going to start just showing you some of these pictures, because I think they're wonderful for children, very small children. So this is Unicorn. This is her favorite card. And you'll see that with each card there is a message. You are safe and protected is the wolf. And so, especially a child that's just learning to read, these are really fun, because not only do they get the animal, but they get the meaning, so to speak, right away. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to learn a system. They don't have to do anything but look at the cards, enjoy the pictures, and receive the messages. So I'll just show you a few more here. I'm sure somewhere on YouTube there is a review on this deck. But I just wanted to show you some of the pictures so you get a sense of what that looks like. One of the things that I found with this deck, and one of the things that I encouraged her to do, we would do this together at first, and then she just kind of took off and went on it on her own, is that we would pull, you know, whatever, like let's say we would pull 5 cards. And I would start a story for her. I would say, once upon a time, there was this fox, and it was springtime, and he was around these beautiful daffodils, but something didn't seem right, didn't feel right in his heart. There was something that was making him a little bit sad. And then he came across a coyote, and the coyote was full of fun, was full of play, and he saw that the fox was feeling sad. And he came up to the fox and he asked him, "Why are you sad?" And so so you get what I'm doing. We would build a story using the cards, and sometimes the dolphins would come up on land and grow legs. I mean, we would get really goofy with the story, but she loved it. It was something that we could integrate symbology and the symbolism of the oracle decks. We could weave a story together. She could use her imagination. Now, another thing that she did on her own was use the cards for art. So she would take the fox, grab her crayons, and draw her own version of the fox. And at some point, she started to combine both methods. So she would draw a fox, and then she would start to write her own story about the fox and mix in some other cards. And I really love that. I really love how I didn't expect her to use them for divination, but I loved how it fueled her imagination and her storytelling abilities. And like I said, that's something that I encouraged early on, and then she just kind of took off with that and went with it on her own. So that's been really fun, and that's been going on since she was about 5. The next deck that I bought for her was the Vibrational Energy, Vibrational Earth Children, from Debbie Anderson. And as you can see, the box is well loved. It's very well loved. This is what the box looked like. This is what the card backs look like. I love the card backs. I think they're beautiful. And this is a very similar deck in that, actually, no, I take that back. It's not a similar deck. Sometimes there's messages and sometimes there's keywords. And what I love is that each card has children in it and there's a message, so I fit in. Love me lots. Gratitude attitude. And so they're vague enough. These are very specific. So I'm going to take out the monkey card here if I can. The Stephen Farmer Oracle deck is very specific. Try something new. Okay? But here, it's more projective. A child could pick up this card, gratitude, attitude, and they could read a lot of different things into it. They may not even know what gratitude means, so that might be a conversation with you and your child. But there's a little bit of projective quality, I would say, with these cards, because Oopsie Daisy could be about like making a mistake and feeling really embarrassed about it, or Oopsie Daisy can be about being silly and laughing and making mistakes on purpose. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed about this deck, is that some of them are very projective, butterfly shy. There's a friend that needs my help. He's very shy, she's very shy, or I'm feeling really shy. Sometimes I don't know what to say. And I like that. I like that it's a little bit more projective, because that really is what the tarot is about. It's about kind of drawing in on your intuition. What is my intuition telling me about this card? What messages are coming up? What feelings are coming up from you when I see this card? So that might be a nice way to introduce your child to the art of using your intuition to let you know what a card is telling you. And I'm just going to show you a few more cards. Actually, I just showed that one. Showed that one too. Okay, I'm going to start in the middle of the deck. And I love that there's children in all of them. You know, it's very much, it has a very, you know, mystical, galactical, I don't know what the word would be. New Age would probably be a great way to use, a great word to use. Very New Age quality to it, while still remaining very relatable for children. And the artwork is so pretty and it's so soft. Choose Cross My Heart. Again, another one that I think is kind of projective. What does that mean to the person, to the child that's reading it? When I started working with a little bit more projective deck, I'm going to call it like this one, we switched from a specific message, try something new, to what does this mean to you? So I would pull it out and I would put it down in front of her and I would say gratitude, attitude. To me, that makes me think of the need to be happy and feel good about all the nice things in our life and to give thanks in our heart. And then I would pull the card in front of her and I would say, what is that? What does this make you think of? And I would really encourage her to think that there's no right answer. I look at this card and that's what I think of. What do you think of when you see this card? She might say, I love apples. It makes me think of how I love apples. In which case I would say, wonderful, that's great. And I really, to me, that's really important, that there is no right answer. No. It's about being grateful. Because I love apples. Isn't that a sense of gratitude? Gratitude for the things that you love, gratitude for the good fruit. One of the things that my mind is really good at doing is second guessing myself when it comes to tarot. I think that's why I love tarot. And I have been so on this tarot path now, and I just embrace it and I love it because it forces me, I don't know if it forces me, but it challenges me to change that part of me, or to work with that part of me, challenge that part of me that thinks that there's a right answer. Your intuition sometimes doesn't make sense. Why you intuitively think of, you know, if you intuitively think of your Aunt Martha when you see this card, you may not understand why that works, but that's information that's coming to you. And I really wanted to pass that along to my daughter. Something that perhaps I feel like is missing within me is that, and I'm working toward, is just trusting that intuition. I wanted to give her encouragement, support for her to trust her intuition. And when you can pull out a card and say, hey, here's what I think about it. What do you think about it? What does this bring to mind? And then celebrate the answer, or to say, wonderful, that's wonderful that you tuned in and thought of that, and just to support your child no matter what. I think that encourages and gives that child permission to explore what the world, what something means to them. All right. So I do also have some tarot decks that I bought her. I will save tarot for kids for another video. I don't want to let this one get too long. If you have any thoughts about Oracle for Kids, if there's any decks that you worked with your children, or with a niece or nephew, or whatever, if you have any unique ways that you've worked with kids and Oracle cards, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week and take care. Bye-bye.